Hi, welcome to another edition of the GunWriterTV, along with my friend and co-host,
boarding house reach. Hey.
Mike Young, the humble purveyor of truth, and Greg Steube, state rep. We are all, you've been here more than anybody else.
Cool.
We are very pleased to have you.
Happy to do it.
Yeah, well, you're extremely pro-gun, and we very much support that. Got a lot to talk about today, but the big gorilla in the room is the president's comments, his executive actions. What's your take, guys?
Well, I mean, from a state perspective, I don't think it really changes much, and
Right.
it seems to be more just to pander to his group of people than really implement policy. And the big thing is you're usurping Congress by doing executive orders. What he's done wouldn't have prevented any of the mass shootings that we've had in this country. So I think he's just trying to make a statement on his way out of office.
I don't know whether to act upset about what happened or to go out and scream to the heavens that nothing happened, you know?
Yeah.
Because if I scream to the heavens that nothing happened, the anti-gunners and the gun grabbers will be like, oh, we didn't win. But if I make it upset, like, oh, this sucks, the anti-gunners will be like, well, we won this one. You know, I don't know whether to beat my chest or just shut up about it, because he did absolutely nothing. Nothing's changed.
I think it can have a chilling effect on guys that buy and sell guns without a FFL, and I'm talking hobbyists.
Yeah.
You know, my father-in-law being one of them. Old guy, retired guy, him and his friends go to gun shows, buy guns, trade guns, sell guns. I mean, there's a Ruger Red Hawk running around southern Delaware that's probably been owned by 10 guys in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
They're like playing cards. I think that can have a chilling effect.
I've got a great customer and friend that will not hang on to the gun more than 2 weeks. and you know, he'll buy one, he'll say I love it, and then it'll be up for trade in like 2 weeks, and you know who you are. But it's funny. It could mean that he can't do that.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Right.
Talked to ATF SAC from Tampa yesterday. No law has changed. They're still focused on criminals, not hobbyists.
Right.
Greg, how's campus carry doing?
Well, we've gotten through all of our committees in the House, which is a great thing because I had 3 committee stops. And so it's ready for the full floor of the House of Representatives to vote on. I think I have bipartisan support for that in the House. And I think we can get it through the House. The question's going to be the Senate. Last year, Senate Chair of the Judiciary Committee, Miguel Diaz de la Portilla, refused to hear the bill, so that ultimately kills it over there. I don't know if he does that again this year. I know there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to at least hear the bill. I think if the bill's heard in the Senate, I think it gets through that committee. But the questions mark is going to be whether they do that or not. What I would like to do is at least pass it through the entire House, have a vote on the floor, send the bill to the Senate, and then let it rest in the Senate and let them deal with the consequences of it not passing over there. But I think we can get it through the House with everything that's occurring nationwide with all of these shootings. I think it bolsters our arguments as to why it's necessary, and that gun-free zones don't protect anybody but criminals or terrorists. So hopefully we'll continue to move the ball forward, but it's really going to come down to the Senate and what they decide to do.
And who in the Senate specifically?
It's Miguel Diaz de la Portilla. He is the chair of the Judiciary Committee, so I'd encourage all of your viewers and anybody that feels passionately about this issue to contact him directly. It's available online. You can find out what his email address is and phone number and contact his office and encourage him to hear the bill.
I have never seen a piece of legislation that has been surrounded by so much inaccurate information. Right. It's stunning.
Yeah, it is. And every committee meeting brought a lot of that to light, what the colleges and universities state. And I'll specifically ask them, do you have any facts or evidence to support any of your arguments? And the answer to that is always no, because it's always hypotheticals and conjecture and what if and emotion and not facts and evidence. Because if you really drill down on the facts, there is no reason why we shouldn't have campus carry in the state of Florida.
Right.
We need more schools like Liberty University.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you've got another piece of legislation. It doesn't have a nice, cool working title like campus carry or open carry, but I like to call it the gun-free zone killer, because this will end a lot of gun-free zones.
Yeah, it's so this would repeal, and what's interesting is it's just a repealer bill. It just takes a couple sentences out of the statute. One is career centers, which we saw targeted by a terrorist in Tennessee, went after one of the career centers, a military career center.
That's a no-brainer.
So that would, right now, that's a gun-free zone, and so the bill would repeal that. Another one is meetings of the legislature. So right now we can carry in the Capitol. So I can carry in the Capitol.
You being a legislator?
Anyone.
Anyone.
Anyone with a concealed carry permit legally can carry in the Capitol of the state of Florida. You cannot carry in a meeting of the legislature, so a committee meeting or on the floor. which
And I
to me
assume-
doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's part of it too.
Some of these committee meetings obviously get a little contentious.
Oh, absolutely.
Well attended.
Yeah.
Somebody could sneak in with a firearm.
It would be difficult because we do have metal detectors, but I think somebody that does a decent reconnaissance of the area could figure out a way to get a weapon in. And so it's the same argument as it is for campuses or meetings. Why would we restrict law-abiding citizens' ability to carry to protect themselves? So that's part of it. And there's also meetings of county and city commission or county and city government buildings. So like meetings of the city commission here in Sarasota or Sarasota County commissioners. And I've actually had, I'm not going to name who they are, but I've actually had county commissioners tell me, I'd like to carry.
Yeah.
If somebody were to come into a commission meeting and start shooting, I'd like the ability to defend myself. And right now under the statute, they can't.
We have some very pro-gun county commissioners here who shoot all the time.
Right.
And they're not hobbyists. They're very serious about their personal security. And a county commission meeting can get just as contentious as a state one.
Absolutely.
I love this. I think this. And where is this bill at right now?
I filed it, and I have a Senate sponsor. The same Senate sponsors filed some of these other bills. It's filed, but it hasn't gotten any committee hearings. So hopefully, once session starts, maybe we'll get a couple committee hearings.
Excellent. ATF just issued their final order on 41P, affecting everybody with a NFA Trust. Now they're not requiring a CLEO, a Chief Law Enforcement Officer signature, but I'm hearing a lot of rumbling that we still, just to be sure, should have some type of shall sign legislation. Is that something you'd consider?
At the state level?
Yeah.
Oh, well, sure. I'd certainly look at it. I think that's more, I mean, if we're dealing with ATF, it's probably more of a federal type issue.
But this would,
if,
a state law would require sheriffs and chiefs of police to, if somebody meets all the requirements, to sign.
to sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly something we can look at. going
been
forward.
done with good success in a lot of other states.
Yeah, we actually have a couple of counties near us that actually they do sign. Charlotte County signs. And I don't know if Manatee does. I know
No,
Sarasota
Manatee
doesn't. But Charlotte does. And I think most of them don't because they don't have to.
Right.
You know?
Get a trust. It's a lot
do the
cleaner with a
trust.
trust anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
and it keeps their name out of it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think I think a lot of sheriffs certainly don't want the responsibility if, God forbid, they sign
Yep.
something for someone.
Somebody
and
goes
they go
Section
and,
8 and-
yeah, and then they
Yep.
go and do something.
well, you signed off on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably the concern.
I don't like the fact that 41P now requires everybody with an NFA Trust to be treated like a sex offender with notifications and photos and fingerprints, but
Yeah.
at least they're not mandating that it needs a signature.
Yeah, I don't know why they want the photo and the fingerprints. Why not just have everybody in there do a 4473?
Exactly.
Because the person that creates the trust did a 4473 on that particular firearm, but if they die and it goes to the beneficiary, they don't have to.
Exactly.
And I don't have a problem with them doing one, because everybody's got that crazy brother-in-law or something like that, you know, that maybe had some felony problems back in the day, and now he gets the gun in a beneficiary thing. I mean, there should be something.
I don't
involved
think
with
any
that.
law-abiding citizens have a problem with background checks
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
don't.
No.
Not
They
at
don't
all.
have any concerns about what the background check is going to do.
No, we all do, right? I mean, all gun owners have a problem with background checks? No, I'm sorry, we
I don't. Do a ton of them every day.
I
You know,
bought-
I do them whenever I buy a gun.
I bought 30 guns at gun shows, and I think I've been backgrounded all but one time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just part of doing business, part of getting a gun.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to keep us updated on campus.
Yeah,
Right?
anytime you want me to come back. Now, session starts Monday, well, Tuesday actually, but I go up to Tallahassee on Monday. So we'll see. We got 60 days, so maybe I'll be able to come back with some good news, at least
That'd be
passing it
awesome.
through the House and see what
In the
happens.
meantime, if
Senate.
anybody needs to be receive a whole bunch of emails or phone calls, please let us know. We don't want this thing. We want this thing to go through this year. We
Yeah,
don't
I would
wanna wait
definitely
another year.
encourage your readers and your viewers to contact. I mean, it's one senator who's holding the bill up. So I would encourage, I mean, if he gets more emails and phone calls to agenda the bill, that's certainly going to
Good.
See that the people
help
want
assist.
it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put the
Yeah.
contact info up. Thanks, brother.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. It's always
Anytime.
an honor
Yep.
taking time out of your day.
Absolutely.
God bless. Long live the Republic, and keep your powder dry.